Hey guys, it's Gameface here and welcome back to episode 89 of my Leeds United career mode. Now in today's episode, we've obviously got the January transfer window to continue with, and we will be focusing on that mainly to try and get some new signings. We desperately need to try and get in some new players because our centre-backs were a little bit thin on them at the moment. Smith wants to leave and Bailey left us in the previous episode thanks to the board selling him for a lot less than money's worth, 7 million. Can't believe that one. But we do have the Swansea game coming up now. We will be playing the Swansea match, and then I've got a few different things to show you regarding transfers and players that we can sign with less than a year left on the contract. This is the team that we're going to be playing with for the Swansea game. The players that you can't quite see there, I think, is just Silva and Ramirez in midfield alongside Bridcut as well. And I'll quickly show you the bench for that match. We've got Mane playing on right mid, and that is the bench that we've got. Quite a strong bench if we need them. Obviously, Iheanacho has been in good form recently, so we can bring him into the team if we need to. But before we get into the game, if we could go hit 20 likes on this video, that would be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Let's move on to the Swansea game, try and get the 3 points, and see whether we can move ourselves further up the league table. Another thing that I should have brought your attention to is actually that Gordon's starting as well, a new signing, 69 overall. He's starting at centre-back, so definitely one to look out for. 2 left-footed centre-backs start though, which might make it a little bit interesting. Here we go, we're at home in the East Point Arena, and we've got Silva up front to try and hopefully get us a few goals. We need him to continue his good form, which he's had in recent games, to make sure we can get an early goal if we can. Calvin Phillips looks for Silva with the pass, and what a finish that is. Lovely intricate play on the edge of their box, brilliant build up again from us. Calvin Phillips carrying the ball, plays it off to Mane here, who comes inside, back to Calvin Phillips, who finds a lovely little pass through the defence. Bit of luck there, I think it went through the legs of the defender, but Silva with a quality finish, and it's 1-0, Silva with his 6th goal this season. And that's it for the first half, still winning the game 1-0, really good performance in the first half. We probably should be winning by more, because we've been on the edge of their box, trying to pass a ball through if we can, but we just lack that little decent chance for us to try and get a second goal at the moment. We're going to keep things the same though, going into the second half. Silva going to try and lay this off to Mane, he's going to have a shot, Mane, oh, so close to going in. That's our first shot of the second half. They completely dominated us in the second half here, Swansea, all over us. Rather what we did to them in the first half, to be honest. We just need to try and keep the ball in their half a bit more. Okay, I've made all 3 changes. Mane will come off along with Coman and Phillips. That means Cook, Iheanacho and Redmond will come on. I've had to put Silva out wide as well, just to try and make sure we've got enough energy through the middle. Everyone seems so tired. I don't know whether it's these new tactics that I'm trying to do with the team pressing so much. Maybe that's probably the reason, to be honest. Let's see how we get on with those 3 changes. Try and see out the rest of the game, but 20 minutes, maybe try and get a second goal as well. Oh, brilliant ball through to Cook. Must be a second. Oh, another save from the keeper. Fabianski's kept him in this, and look how many players they have in attack. It could be a good counter-attack from them if we can just stop it here with our new signing. One can go, this must be yours, and it is. That is it, we've won the game 1-0, got the 3 points, and let's move on to doing some transfers now. Decent performance, just about managed to hang on to it in the end. Okay, on to some emails now, and they've come back to us, Everton. They've actually accepted the contract, or the player has, but we're not going to accept him. We're actually going to reject the offer, because we don't really need those sort of centre-backs. We've got enough of them now, enough young centre-backs, so we won't continue with that one. And they've come back to us and they're actually not willing to pay. I think it was 8.5, which I was after for Callum Wilson. So I put it at 7.5 and maybe they'll match it this time. Quintero, I think we'll put in a final offer, 90 grand a week. We'll give him a 20% bonus per goal, crucial first team player, and let's see what he says to that offer. Here's another player that I'm interested in, James Maddison. 75 overall, 22 years old. Looks quite good actually. I don't know how he is still at Coventry, but he's grown loads for some reason. And he can play centre attacking mid, so we're going to try and get him. We can't get him on a pre-contract agreement because he's under 23 years old. So we're going to go with a £2 million bid and try and get him in as a squad player. Probably get on the bench most of the time, I'd imagine. But could be an interesting English player to have in the team. We're also going to offer Mike on a contract as well, on a pre-contract agreement yet again. 3-year deal, 20% on the clean sheet bonus, and we'll go with a crucial first team player as well. A few more pre-contract agreements to do, first of which is going to be for this Newcastle player. We're going to try and get him in at the end of his contract in 6 months' time as a replacement for Yaya Toure, who is retiring at the end of the season. He's got similar sort of stats. He's a very big player, good at interceptions, not particularly fast obviously, but he's very strong and he's got really good passing. 88 short passing looks really good. So we're going to try and get him in as one of our older players in the squad. We'll offer him 85 grand, because I'm not really wanting to go as far as 90 just yet. And then we'll go crucial first team player, 3-year deal, and try and make sure he accepts that. And then on to a more surprising one, Aguero. We're going to try and get Aguero in again on a contract expiry, to try and get him in if we can. He's obviously 30 years old, but he's still 89 overall, and be incredible if we could try and get him in for the end of the season. Crucial first team player, 20% bonus per goal, obviously, and we'll keep the contract at the exact same amount. Let's submit that offer. Again, we'll wait and see what Aguero has to say about that one. Little bit different. We might well have that one rejected, obviously, but I think we're also going to go for Kurt Zouma as well. He's another player that wants to try and get in. Again, it's going to have to be a pre-contract agreement because I don't think we'll be able to get him in on a particularly good deal right now, sadly. But he will be a crucial first-team player and will be a very good player for us as well if he decides to join. Liverpool have accepted the £5 million bid for Jordan Ibe. We'll move on to the contract for that one. I think £5 million is quite a decent amount. I'm not too sure what overall he is though. But 60 grand a week seems a lot for him, so he must be a decent overall. We're going to go with, I think, an important first-team player, 5-year deal, and hopefully he agrees to that. Everton have rejected the bid we put in for John Stones. 11 million and Smith. They're not interested in the player again, so I think we'll just have to go with money. We'll go with 12 million. See whether they agree to that one, but I don't think they will. West Ham have accepted the £7 million bid for Antonio. He's wanting 50 grand a week. We'll up it to that, I think. 3-year deal, and we'll go with crucial first team player. We could do with a really good left mid in the team, and Antonio appears to be signing for us. We've also got rid of that right back as well, which we didn't really need. He came through the youth academy, I believe, as well, or we might have got him on as a free agent, can't remember. So we've made profit on him anyway, and he is now sold. Wolves have accepted the £5.5 million bid for Afobe, who's coming in as a replacement for Callum Wilson, assuming that he leaves. 50 grand a week we'll go with, and 3-year deal, and I think a squad rotational player, hopefully he agrees to that. And Tommy Smith has come back and said he's having doubts about leaving the club. He might well be staying now, which is a bit of a strange. It would be nice for him to stay, obviously, because we need some cover at centre-back, but we need another player that's better, to be honest, than what he is. Okay, we are going to be simming this game against Leicester. It is a home match. This is the team I'm going to put out for the game. The usual defence, kind of, that you'd probably expect for a rotated team that we've had to try and change due to the game recently. Eric Dyer in front of them, Yaya Toure, and then Iheanacho is the only other player you can't quite see. The rest of them, pretty obvious choices really for a changed team. Lewis Cook at centre attacking mid, and we will sim this one through the usual route. Leicester have been in good form recently, 2 wins from 3, the other one being a draw as well, so it could be a tough game, this one. I don't know if they've signed anybody I particularly recognise. There's a couple of new names in there. Okazaki scores for them 1-0, 21 minutes in, and we need to try and get an equaliser as soon as possible. We're going into the second half, and they are still losing the game 1-0. Surely we've got a better team than them. Ramirez comes on, Yaya Toure off. Can we get a goal? No, Maris made it 2-0, and it looks like we've lost this game. We'll skip it, and we have lost it 2-0. Don't know how that's happened, to be honest. We've got the better team on paper, just didn't work out. And that is usually what happens when you sim games. Sadly, though, we have lost the match. That means we're down to 4th, but only 5 points behind top at the moment, which isn't that bad. Transfer offer in for one of our young players from Valencia, 2-year loan deal. We'll go ahead with that. He's 60 overall, actually, at 18 years old, so he looks like he could be quite a good player in a couple of seasons' time. We've also got Palmeiro coming back and saying the matching the 7.5 for Callum Wilson, and Quintero's accepted the contract. Can't believe that one, actually. 90 grand a week, and he could well be coming in at the end of the season. We're going to leave it for now, though, just to kind of see and make sure they have enough money to get other players in. And they've said that he's too valuable for them to accept that bid. For Maddison, so we'll take a look at that one, maybe try and offer him a slightly better bid, or offer the club a better bid. We put in a bid of 2 million, he's worth 3.9, I think we'll up it to 4, I don't think we have too much choice despite him having 6 months left on his contract. We're going to have to try and match his value roughly, and we've also got him declining a contract because he doesn't feel the move suits him from Newcastle. Don't know why. We're going to offer him 100 grand. 3-year deal, crucial first team player, he should really accept that. Another transfer offer in, and this time for Andre Silva. It's going to be 24 million from West Ham, quite a big bid again. We are going to reject that one again, not too interested in him leaving. He should be going up in overall soon, to be honest, because he's had quite a good recent few games. Jordan Ibe has accepted the bid that I put in and the contract I gave to him. 5 million for him, 60 grand a week does seem a lot. Entep's also accepted the contract. Aguero's accepted the contract. Zuma has also as well. And Stoke City have approached Afobe on a pre-contract agreement, which isn't good because we're trying to buy him. So first things first, let's get in Aguero. Let's prioritise that. We've got him in. Oh my days, he's coming at the end of the season to join us. It's incredible. Entep's also another priority for us as well. Definitely, we need someone in like that right now. That means Redmond's gone for us now, basically. Quintero, not going to accept that one just yet. I don't think we need to accept the Ibe one either, because we've got a decent left mid now. So we'll reject the Ibe deal. 60 grand a week always seemed quite a lot, to be honest, for Ibe. And I think we'll get in Kurt Zuma, but we'll just change around our current amount of money that we've got. We will accept the Kurt Zuma offer and try and get him in at the end of the season. We do really need to try and get another centre-back if we can, but we might have to just kind of go with what we've currently got in the squad if we can't get another one in. Quintero will have to wait again, I think, because we'll wait and see whether there's any other better options for us. And on to the player drills. These are the 5 players again that we'll be keeping this week. Let's try and get them up in some of the attributes, maybe up in overall. They're all quite far away from that, so we've got a few attributes going up, which is good, but still nobody going up in overall just yet. Silva might have to be put in there at some point, because he's obviously needing to go up, because he's 23 years old and only 81. It doesn't even look that good at the moment, despite his stats. But Entep, can't believe we got him in. Looks really good. If I'm mispronouncing that, let me know in the comments below. I'm just going to continue to call him Entep just because that's how it looks. But he might well be spelled differently. His stats look incredible though. His dribbling and pace look fantastic. Looking forward to using him. Hopefully he's going to be as good as Mane is at the moment for us. Because that'd be great to have 2 really good wingers. Aguero coming in as well. Can't believe that one. Didn't expect him to actually accept the contract, but he has. So he's joining us at the end of the season along with Kurt Zuma. And Everton's saying that they can't accept the bid for John Stones. He's too valuable to them. They keep on saying that. We just need to try and get him in. 12 million is what we offered before, but we don't have as much money now. So we're going to have to try and put in a bid somehow. I'll be back in a second once I've decided on a bid to put in for Stones. The only other sort of bid I could put in is Alex Mowat and 7 million. We're not going to desperately go for a centre-back now. I think we've just about got enough. We've got Congolo, Capella and Smith as our 3 main centre-backs. And obviously, if Smith stays, which it appears he will, he's 75 overall, Capella 77, Congolo 78. So we've got some good centre-backs there. And obviously, we've got the younger centre-backs as well to come in. So we're not in desperate need for a new centre-back, but it'd be nice. Obviously, that's the reason why I'm getting Kurt Zuma at the end of the season. Antonio also accepts the contract that we offered him. So I could actually get in another left mid if I wanted to. But again, don't think I will just yet, because obviously we've just got in Entep recently. So maybe I'll leave the Antonio one, even though he looks really good and he's English. I'm not too sure whether it's worth the 7 million and 50 grand a week. It's not like we've got that spare hanging around really. So we'll leave that one for another few days and I'll decide at a later point. Okay, I've come to a decision about Quintero. We're actually going to reject this one. He's an incredible player. He looked really good. Be nice to have in the team. But this series is around trying to get in mainly English players and trying to grow them. And if I bring him in there, as well as just bringing Aguero, also, who will be playing in the attacking spaces, centre attacking mid, just behind the striker or as the striker. So I can't really bring in another one of those sort of players. Otherwise, it kind of means that Lewis Cook would definitely be out the squad. And same with a few of our other English players as well. So we're going to reject that one for Quintero. And again, we'll just continue to leave the Antonio deal for now. We've got a bid in here for our right back, Hyde from Exeter City. We are going to accept that one. He's one that's coming through the youth academy, and obviously 210 grand isn't a lot, but he wasn't really going anywhere, that player, so I had to get rid of him. A lot of right backs that are doing really well at the moment for us, and he just wasn't really as good as them. So it makes sense. Wilson's also left us. 6.5 million gets added to our transfer budget, which means we can get in Benik Afobe, who is our replacement for Wilson. And it's basically an exact replacement for him. Wilson didn't quite work out for, so hopefully it does for Benik Afobe. And he does seem to have some very good stats. Looks pretty strong. Decent finishing on him as well. Let's just hope it works out a little bit better than it did for Callum Wilson, who just seemed like he wanted to leave, to be honest. He didn't really get too far with us. So a bit more competition. Vardy, I still need to try and get rid of Jamie Vardy. He's on the transfer list, I think, so he should be on the way out, hopefully, because he's not really getting used at the moment, and he's just going down on his stats. Yeah, there he is, 32 years old, 70 overall, and he's kind of getting slower, his finishing's getting worse. He just needs to leave us really now, doesn't he? There's quite a few players still listed here to get rid of. Rossetti is still one of them. believe it or not. He's one of the players still that I'm trying to get rid of because of his poor performances, and also he doesn't really seem to be particularly happy at the club. We also need to offer, I think, Smith a new deal, see whether he wants to stay with us, if we can offer him a new deal though, because he did reject the first one. Can he? No, he's refused it, but let's just see whether he will accept this one and commit his future to us. 2-year deal, 35 grand a week, and we'll go with 20% and important first team player. We're also going to offer some other players contracts as well. Sava will get a contract extension. We're not going to, I think, extend Hughes or Henry, and we'll go with Loopy. I think we'll get one. Vardy won't, and I don't think Killock will either. So we'll offer Loopy one now. 66 overall. Looks quite good. I think we've offered some of these players contracts before, but I don't think they accepted them. So we'll up the squad roll, and hopefully they now agree to those deals. Another transfer offer in, this time for Jack Butland, 16 million from Porto. Again, I don't think it's quite good enough. I might give them a counter offer because, to be honest, I wouldn't actually mind getting in a better goalkeeper because Butland's not really grown as much as I'd hoped. We've been trying to train him, but he's 25 years old now and he's not really gone up too much. He's getting into his prime years and he doesn't seem to be going particularly far for us. So I'll accept 26 million, which is quite a lot more than what they've offered originally. But if they want to match it, obviously they can. Again, same with Ajax, 26 million. And again, that's actually a lot more than what they've offered because they only put his value, a bid in for his value. We've got Coventry coming back saying that's 6.5 for James Maddison, which is a lot more than I was expecting. Can't really go with 6.5. I think it's another case of we'll chuck in Alex Mowat. If they want to agree to that, then they can. 3 million and Alex Mowat, and that should be a good deal for them because I think they'd get more use out of Alex Mowat than we would. And he's actually accepted the pre-contract agreement, which is great news. So we're going to try and get him in once I've got 100 grand, obviously, on the wage. So here we go, signed him up, and again, looks like another good deal for us for the end of the season. Antonio won't be coming in for us due to the 7 million and 50 grand a week wage. I don't think there'll be too many more signings now. Maybe just getting a couple more English players, maybe for the end of the season, or right now. I'm not really too sure. We'll have to wait and see what sort of other bids come in. Another one for Jack Butland, again from Leicester. We'll give them the exact same counter offer that we've given the other two teams. And if obviously they decide to match them, then we'll be looking for a new goalkeeper. Still no interest in those players I'm offering. We have to leave the John Stones one, sadly. It's a shame we couldn't get him in, but he just doesn't appear to want to join. Smith has again said that he won't be entering a new contract with us. He wishes to keep his options open regarding a move to another team. So, that means he's pretty much going, I think, to be honest. He doesn't really say explicitly whether he is going or not, but to me it doesn't sound like he wants to sign a new contract. So, he'll probably see out the rest of his deal and then leave, rather than leaving in this transfer window, I'd imagine. That will be it for this episode. We will just put our wage budget up as much as possible and try and get in another few players on, obviously on their contract expiry deal that we can try and do with them having 6 months left on the contracts. Here are some of them, which I think should be correct, or some of them are correct anyway. Not all of them. Is Otamendi available? No, he's not. So there'll be some of them at the bottom of this list that we can try and sign who don't have much longer left on the contracts. Preferably, I'd like to get another centre-back now, but it looks unlikely with the amount of money I've got left. But like I say, that is it for the episode. Let me know in the comments what you think about those different things I've mentioned in this episode. Thank you for watching. If we go hit 20 likes on this video, that'd be brilliant. And also, if you haven't already, then please hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be really appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.